to the Ref Room. Hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Smokin, Silz, and Baumruck.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ref Room. It's Wednesday. I am Smokin, Silz, joined by my good friend Brad Baumruck. Where did the year go? It's the year in review episode, everybody. I don't know how we got through it so quickly, but it's already come and gone. Hard to believe.
It was a quick year, but, Scott, it's been a very odd year, too. Going from the year before to this year, let's just talk about the first thing in January.
It seems like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? We're going back again.
It's coming right back. I don't think it's going to be the same way, but,
No.
you had...
I don't think our country can afford to keep it the same way, okay?
Well, let's not go there yet. But no, we had you had AA teams playing high school teams.
Yeah.
And high school teams that don't normally play each other because they're in different leagues.
Yeah.
Actually having practice games together now, they were inter squad scrimmages.
You had Central States teams playing high school teams, okay?
Yeah, it was a very different atmosphere.
Yeah.
And in January, at that point, there were no fans in the building.
No.
Still at that point, in most buildings. So you had no fans in the buildings. It's just you and the players.
We had gaiters on. We had track jackets on.
Yeah, it was definitely different. And then, there was some games that we did that they just had an hour of ice, two, Central States midget teams, tier 2, AA hockey, however you want to tier it. And they're playing just an hour, and they're putting up 20-minute runner.
Yeah.
And then they're putting another 20-minute runner.
Or 25-minute runners, which felt like forever. Or they had an hour, 45, or 2 hours of ice time, and it's like, let's just stay out here until somebody just drops.
Yeah, well, it was definitely different. Then we move into February, and then it kind of switched. Then we started going back to wearing our traditional garb, if you put it. So you got your referee pants on and your sweater and your USA crest. And this is mainly in Chicago because every place has been different. This is just our experience. Right. So we go from that, and then all of a sudden, USA Hockey announced we're just going to move nationals from the areas that we've scheduled them to now. So now we're going to still have them.
Yep.
So now everybody goes, all right, what are we going to do now? So here in Illinois, they sat down and they said, here's how this is going to work. One team can go from this level, this level, this level, and this level. We're not going to get involved, and you guys figure it out. You can vote on a team. You can play a bracket format. You can play round robins. You can do whatever you need to do, but we need somebody to go, and everybody has to agree to it, and we'll send. So, some of the clubs did vote, some of the levels. Some of them had a full-out pool play like we normally would. And then they had, like semifinal and final. And then we also had one, they played just a bracket play. And as they came out, that's who they sent. So then they had nationals. Then we went into spring league, which, Scott, I don't know how many games you skated, but I think in that May, I skated like 44 games.
Well, let's go back to February of last year. Okay, that was the shortest month of the year. I think I worked 71 games in February.
Oh, there you go.
71. The only night I had off was the night you and I were supposed to have worked, and we were supposed to have had 2 games.
I forgot about this.
We got snowed out with 17 inches of snow.
Yep.
So, like an hour before we were supposed to leave, we finally got the okay to stay home. It's canceled. Neither one of us wanted to make that drive. I got to be honest. Like for me, that's on a good day, it's a 45-minute, 50-minute ride from the city all the way out there. And for you, I think it's even further. So I'm glad we didn't have to make that. That would have been easily a 2-hour plus ride going up there.
I agree.
That's all I can
especially for me.
Yeah,
Mine
and it would have been a life or death situation probably for us in the process.
On the way home.
Oh, for
on
sure.
the way home because we would have had
For
to
sure.
have waited, and they started they stopped plowing the highways.
We might not have gotten out of the parking lot, to be honest with you. It's very possible at that point we wouldn't get out of the parking lot because those are tight spaces to begin with. So we might not get out of the parking lot.
Yeah. So we get through that.
We might still be there.
we had this weird spring league where nobody seemed to want to stop playing, but nobody had any playoffs at the end of it. They just kept going and going, and then it's like, oh well, we'll have a tournament over here.
But didn't we have a state tournament? Did we have a out of state championship? Or we forgot how many tournaments went out of town last year? How many times did we get an invite to go to another state to work?
But that was like their end of their league thing because one of the leagues decided to play up in Wisconsin every weekend.
Right.
And I was extended the invite, but I live in Plainfield, which is almost an hour outside of the city. I'm not driving past the city to Wisconsin to referee. I'm just not going to do it.
You're going to Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan. I mean,
Dyer would have been fine, but nobody was playing there really. Because that's right up the highway for me, so I would have been fine. But there was people everywhere. So we get into the beginning of this season. We start to have referee seminars in July. And all of our seminars were virtual, which I'm not going to lie, the virtual seminars, they work good. I like in-person better, but there's a lot of people that would prefer the online version. It'd be nice to hopefully maybe as we go here have the option of it. But then after the first month of it, we were then informed, well, you can't have seminars anymore all virtual. So you have to have the classroom for the level 1s and 2s in person and your on-ice session. Okay, so now we're running around Illinois, and luckily there were a lot of clubs that helped out because they knew the rinks that were allowing people to gather and do that stuff. So now you have all this switch from that. Well, now you have instructors that were going to basically log off of work, get on to a seminar that they were going to teach, and they're like, now I can't help. So we had this big ball of confusion going on. So then we finally switched those all, to 1s and 2s. And we just got done with one not too long ago. And there's another one in the works. I haven't gotten confirmation about it.
You're still doing some. Now it doesn't end. They just keep going. So.
Well, we would have stopped, but we've gone from 670 referees or whatever it was last year to over 1,200. So that doesn't include the people that haven't completely finished, but that's how many have ran through.
Do we have a number of how many people have not finished that have tried to get into reffing this year? Because I know we got a lot of people in, but did they all complete? I guess
I know a lot of people did end up completing after the date, but I know there's some people that haven't. But I know all the people that we have a few procrastinators here in Illinois, and they decided to take their open book test the night before and didn't pass. So a little known fact for a lot of people that have never not passed an open book test, after that, you have to wait 7 days in order to take it again.
Yeah, and you don't get the 7 days because you've expired.
Correct. So now if you were on games, you've been removed. So, it just makes a big ball of confusion. So we go from that to now we get to our Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving was swamped. We've this season we've had I don't know how many emails, help us out, please, this and that, 68 games. One weekend I know it was absurd. And the officials have stepped up.
There were a couple weeks like that. So I know it was pretty crazy. But, for the most part, we've survived. We got it done, which is really amazing. That's just a great accomplishment by all the referees that just stepped up. We had a lot of guys working solo games. But, I don't think they canceled like they thought they were going to have to cancel. Because for a while there was talk that, wow, we could be canceling a lot of games. I know there's been games canceled, but not as bad as we thought.
No, and that's mainly because of the officials. The officials, day of, they'd send out an email in the morning. There'd be 25 games on it. And I'd look at it.
I think there were days that were more than there were more than that. It's Wednesday. That's all I can say.
But they'd send out this email, and then I'd be, driving to the rink because I'd have games. My day's already filled, basically. And I'm kind of looking at it going, all right, I'm on these games. Is there somebody, like, can they maybe switch me off? Like, can these two? And 9 out of 10 times, by the time I even thought of something or said, oh, yeah, I can do that, somebody had already stepped up and said, yeah, I'll do the game. So that says a lot about the assigners working their tails off. It says more about the officials caring enough to get those games played. The teams need it, the clubs need it. So I'll say thank you from all the hockey community to all the referees.
Yeah.
It's a big shout out from me. I mean, I know everybody's tired now because we're through the holiday season here.
Actually, it's been kind of dead the last few weeks. Everybody's looking for games. We're all used to working a ton of games. There's nothing out there. It's quiet. And I know because we had Christmas on a Saturday, New Year's is on a Saturday.
Yep.
It's quiet. I mean, I'm sure in hindsight, I'll look back and go, this is great. We got a little break. We got a little rest. It's good for the body. It's good for us. But I'm missing hockey right now. There's nothing going on.
That's
where
true.
did it go?
Well, that's one thing. And then, the NHL paused out for a couple days.
Yeah.
And then, the U.S. men's junior team, unfortunately, had to forfeit the other day.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. I haven't been following. Shame on me, but wow.
I was ready to come home and watch the game, that would have been recorded.
Where were they supposed to play? I haven't looked at any of the junior stuff, so.
Honestly, I don't remember where they were holding it. So, but probably Canada. But they had to bow out because of positive tests.
I feel bad for the players. I mean, it's such an opportunity for them, and it's something that they've worked their whole lives to be able to do. So, I do feel bad for them in that situation. Hopefully.
Well, they canceled all the other age groups. They were just going to try and get this men's 20 in and move on, which is unfortunate for all the age groups because they've all trained all year for it.
Yeah.
And now they're not going to play, which I understand the frustration. I know the IHF let something out today. USA's put stuff out. And, I don't know how many more of these events they can cancel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough.
It is. And we're not done. I mean, let's talk about what's going to happen moving forward here. I mean, starting January 3rd, we go into a whole new world.
It's going
to get interesting. So I'm in the city.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know what? This started, it was going to be in Chicago. But now it's Cook County. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to go ahead and elaborate a little bit on where we are going to be with the Chicago situation starting January 3rd? Because we do have a couple of rinks that are Park District owned in the city of Chicago. So we have McFetrich and we have Morgan Park. So Morgan Park is the south side. For those of you that are viewing around the country, the one rink, which is McFetrich, is right in the heart of the city, right in the center. Not quite downtown, but it's the center. And I'm guessing this will end up affecting anybody that wants to go public skating, even down at Maggie Daly Park, which is in downtown Chicago, right in the heart of everything.
That's outdoors, though.
Still Park District. I don't know. It's an entertainment venue, so it could get interesting.
It could be interesting. I don't know.
Well, there's money involved, so maybe things will be just fine.
Well, anyways, so there was an email circulated by the rinks this morning that went out, and we've caught wind of it, and it sounds like anybody over 5 years old at McFetrich and Morgan Park is going to have to get in there the first time they go in, show proof of their card, and also photo ID, and then they're going to enter you into a system for future times that you come in, or they're going to bar you from the building.
Interesting.
So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that all plays out, but if you're somebody that has the vaccine, it's not really the vaccine, but you have been inoculated.
If you've been jabbed,
you've gotten however you want to call it, and you're going to be there refereeing. Here's a heads up. that this may happen. If not, here's a heads up. You might not want to go there. I don't know how that's all going to play out, but that's just out there. They still got
there's other
it
rinks
out.
too that are, like right there, it's Cook County. I got to think some of the ones that were problems before are going to be problems again, and probably the ones that weren't problems won't be problems.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I mean, it's interesting to go back.
I'll be curious to see. I mean, we haven't seen anything official from AHI or IHOA, at least in the Chicagoland area, or USA Hockey with regard to that. Obviously, it doesn't affect most of the country, but I'm sure there are. USA Hockey has, things in New York. They have, lots of referees out there. So I don't know how that's affected them. I'd be really curious to know, to be honest with you. We might have to get somebody from
I haven't heard
USA
anything.
Hockey or somebody to speak about that, because I don't know. I don't know how it's played
unfortunately.
out for them, because, restaurants and stuff, a lot of them require you to show proof. So
No,
I don't know.
I
I don't know
get it.
where we're going to go with this one, but it'll be interesting.
Well, that's just a little heads up.
Yeah.
The other the big heads up are state playoffs are rolling around. Me and Scott were talking about that.
Yeah, we're already. It's almost January. That means playoffs start in February.
Yep. So Tier 1, I looked at when the championships are going to be. They're going to be the 26th or 27th of March, or not March.
February.
February, and then the 1st of March. So Game 1 and Game 2. Game 3 would be later in the week. And then Tier 2 is going to be the 4th through the 6th, and then the high school stuff will follow the timeline like that afterwards. I don't know if we announced.
Do you know
where
what rinks are they going to use for that? Do you know at this point? Like Central States, where are they going?
It's spread out across the Chicagoland. I know that at Romeoville they're going to have the Bantams.
That's
for
what I
Central
kind of
States.
figured. Okay.
So normally West Dundee does one of the divisions.
Yeah.
I think Darien does one normally, and then I forget where the other one is. So, but it's probably
Facilities
the same
with 3
organizations.
rinks. I mean, it just makes it easier for them. Absolutely.
Yep, to have people there. It's a big undertaking for the clubs. So get ready for that. League playoffs will be coming around, so it's going to be a busy time.
Yeah. We're already thinking about winding down here. We're looking for games, and we're already talking about winding down. It's going to wind back up in like a week. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. Take your time off for a little bit.
Exactly. So.
Well, looking at the year in review, I had another idea, and it was, I'll ask you, Scott, first. What did you like about the rule changes this year, if anything?
Oh, that's a really good question, because I don't know. The rule changes, let's just mention a few of them, okay? Do we like the no more delayed offsides? No, I don't like it. Didn't like it before, won't like it now. Did you like you can't ice the puck on the penalty kill? I guess I could live with that one. I feel bad when I see a team go down 5-on-3. It's not pretty, and they can't do anything about it. I think the players have learned to bank the puck a little bit better at maybe a 45-degree angle to get it out. They do a good job with that, but it's challenging. Now, if you're working in the 3-man and you need a little break, that 5-on-3 can be really nice for you, okay? Because you can just park yourself down in the corner because you're gonna have 2 minutes of rest.
Well, that's for most 5-on-3s. Scott.
Exactly.
Well, let's see if anybody else has anything, toss it in the columns. But
put them in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys think about the new rules. I don't like the automatic 5 in a game. That they took away the standalone 5-minute major. I guess the penalty
time suggestions?
Nobody's using it anyway, except like AAA basically and a couple tournaments. But for the most part, I think everybody's still running. You've got Tier 2 Pee-wee's running 13-minute periods. They still go 2-minute penalties. They have the option. They had the option to go minute and a half. They chose to stay with 2. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. A lot of the coaches will tell you that they don't like the fact that they're going to get a call from the parents. The parents are on them because, their son or daughter is not playing on the power play. Well, there's only a minute and a half instead of 2 minutes, so you don't get that second shift out there, or you don't get the third shift out there during that time period. So, that's been an argument from a lot of the coaches for, when the rule kicked in, that's the issue that they were having with it. So,
yeah, well, the arguments though are going to be there no matter what.
Of course,
because people don't like change.
Well, that's true.
So, and if there's that many parents, I mean, how many kids do you have running on the penalty kill or the power play? 10, maybe?
Maybe 10.
Even if you have a team of 20.
Really, you really have 5 rolling on the power play, but you might see a change
saying.
with 15 seconds left in that power play. You never know.
I'm just putting that logical thought process out there. Is it really affecting it that much? I mean,
that's the argument.
I don't think so.
All right, so what's the other big rule, Chad? I guess, puck being shot towards the goal, it hits the glass and kind of goes out. That's fine, but you know what? I'd have liked to have gone a step further. I'd have preferred that they did what the NCAA did, and that is, if you shoot the puck, it just stays in the zone. You don't have to worry about a deflection with 8 players in front of the net. You don't know who tipped the puck, and it's like, oh, did that get tipped? I just think it would have simplified things. It's like, let's just stay in the zone.
Right. No, I hear you. They didn't make it as linear as I think they had planned.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is, and that could be changed for next year.
Yeah, but I just think that would have simplified things especially for the newer. It's not easy for the veteran officials in a fast game, but it certainly would have been easier for the newer officials coming in, the level 1s and 2s, to just know that the puck's just going to stay in, and did they get it right?
Yeah, if they're trying to score.
Yeah. So here, I'll let you in. I'll let you in on a little, for all you guys out there that are watching and girls, I'll let you on a little secret. If you're a referee and you're not sure who tipped the puck, take your time and wait to see where all the players go line up. If they all go line up outside, they probably tipped it out. If they line up in the corner.
That doesn't work in a mic game.
No, it doesn't.
I get where you're going with it, though. It's much more simplified than what we had before. Let's put it that way. But I get where you could have made it extremely simplified, just like, the offsides is offsides now.
Right.
There's no delay. There's none of this. It was close. Oh, the guy got to the blue line. They didn't. They simplified it. You can't ice the puck on a penalty kill or any other time in the game.
Yeah.
They simplified it. Now, I get they're trying to build skill with it. I get where you would have liked to have seen it simplified a little bit more in that process. How about the puck going all the way down after a penalty kill or after a penalty assessment?
Actually, that I like. I like that. I think that's cool. So, kudos.
All right.
I'm going to go with, I like that one.
All right, now here's the question I have for you, because I know you brought it up about where they could dump the puck and they're killing a penalty and they get to work on their breakouts more, right? You had coaches tell you that.
Well, they get to work on a breakout. If you're allowed to ice the puck, then you get to work on a breakout, which the coaches like too.
All right, hold on, though. Did you hear any of that from the teams that were going on a power play that had to march it? They got it marched all the way down the ice against a team that's shorthanded. They could have worked on their breakout if they would have taken that face-off down on the other side of the ice still, where it traditionally would have. So I'm just pointing out where
the argument was made from the higher-level coaches. The higher-level coaches are like, a lot of these players are going to be going to juniors, and they're not going to know how to break the puck out. So they're going to have to learn a new skill when they get to that next level.
Hold on, though. Hold on. So then why wouldn't they be proponents of keeping that puck down the ice and just moving it outside the zone instead of marching it all the way down the ice?
I'm only the messenger in this situation. I'm only the messenger.
I'm just putting it out there. If you're going to argue a rule
that was the argument that they had. I got players going to juniors. They're not going to be able to break the puck out. Okay. Well.
Okay.
They'll learn. That would be my response to that. They learned how to do everything else. They'll learn how to break the puck out.
Yeah. I think they'll be able to handle it. I mean,
I'm sure if they're that good, they're gonna know.
We should hope so.
Those were a couple of the arguments, but that's the major rule changes. I mean, was there anything that you liked or didn't like? I mean,
I'm not a big fan of the icing. Where they're on a penalty kill, but that's a That's your traditional standpoint. I like the game in its traditional sense. And I know that the game is adapting and the players are getting bigger and we have to adapt to the skill level to try and make players better. I understand that, but I just don't understand where it's still different in the high school level now and the senior men's league. Okay? Senior men's league can do whatever. I don't care. But I'm just saying the high school, that they're doing it.
High school's still playing on the same rules. They didn't change those rules.
Well, again, I don't understand because I know they eliminated a lot of this in order to eliminate all that confusion too. But now you got the high school kind of doing their own thing, which I guess is okay. I mean, however they want to do it. But I just don't understand how you do it for not just all youth level.
I think that probably we've discussed that before. I think that might have opened up some changes within hockey to go to different associations that would play under a different set of rules. Is it federation rules that we're talking about? Yeah.
Federation, but you'd run into this. Referees already are not happy about the training that they have to do through USA Hockey, how much they have to pay for insurance. Well, if you switch to federation, guess what?
Is it more training?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never even looked into federation, so I'd be curious to know.
We don't have it here, so
I know.
It is what it is.
But Wisconsin has it, right?
Yep, Wisconsin, Michigan,
Minnesota, federation, right, or not?
I think some of it. I think it's like a split up there. I don't really know that much about Minnesota and their inner workings. They're out, they're.
Well, they operate a little differently when it comes to like high school and AAA because don't they run like a split season? I've heard about this over the years. I don't know firsthand, so maybe you have a better understanding of it. Or you can elaborate on it, but
I got a couple buddies I can call and find out for a different show. I don't know how they run it up there though, but I know like their AAA only goes up to like Bantam. And then they kind of push you over to the high school.
No,
because it used to be.
I didn't know that either. That's interesting.
Well, there used to be the Minnesota Junior B League. And so everybody would push the high school guys into that league. So it kind of kept going in the league, and that was all funded by pull tabs, and it was a long story. But it was a very prominent league up there for a long time, and there were teams outside of the area that were a part of it, but a lot of their players they wanted to keep within the leagues in the area, so they used to kind of have this funnel system to where, the good players still stayed in Minnesota because they wanted that top level hockey. Like you'd go to like a game in Minnesota, a junior game, and the junior rink is on one side of the street and the high school rink is across the street, and it's Friday night. And the high school rink, there's people everywhere. You go in for your junior game, there's like 150 people, 200 people, maybe. Wow. So it's a very different atmosphere. They take their high school hockey like Texas takes their high school football. So it's real big down there.
Well, that's another thing as we look back from, last year to this year. Last year we didn't have anybody in the building. So you had games being played with nobody.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's so nice this year having people back in the building and the students back. Man, that just makes my day. You get the students in the building, it just makes for a great atmosphere. I love it when they show up and in full force and show some love to their school teams. I just think that's amazing. I'd like to see more of that.
No, I agree with you. So there was one comment over there on the side that says the new checking standard can't be applied.
All right, let's see what Carl says. Oh, why is that showing up like that? I don't think that's. Let me just see something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I might have to make some adjustments here. Give me a second.
They've been updating again. Well, anyways.
Yeah, but that's probably on. There we go. That's all right. Let me fix. Let's see if I can get Carl's up there. There we go.
There you go.
All right, much better. All right. The new checking standard can't be applied literally at a higher level like Triple or Central States. The players are moving way too fast. The new checking standard can't be applied.
All right. So number one, let's clarify a couple of things here about this statement. Number one, yes, it definitely can be applied. A lot of the teams have adapted very, very well to it, and you can tell. And Scott, what I said back, what was it, 6 months ago now already, 5 months, however long ago it was, 4 months,
longer than 3 weeks that you thought this show would be around.
There you go. No, but I said, it's amazing when you start to get the teams that understand it. The corner play has really cleaned up, so they become a little bit more creative on how they move the puck around, and it's starting to look more like how the NCAA players play. In that the rink that the NCAA has is much wider,
square, yeah.
And the end boards in the corners aren't completely rounded. They're like a square, so it gives all this extra space. So it makes for interesting plays from the offenseman coming out of the corner, and then it also makes for even more interesting plays when a defenseman cuts the guy off. So it makes for an interesting game and more exciting game from my standpoint. But the next thing is, this standard isn't new. It started in 2019 as an initiative. All right, so keep an eye on all your emails through USA Hockey. They sent it out. This was supposed to be starting in 2019, enforced. Okay, so they've already been playing with this technically for 3 years. Now, let's not count 2020 in there. We understand.
Right.
But it's not new. The officials have known about it for 3 seasons, and it can be applied. And I'm going to tell you, the games that I've done that it's been applied, and the teams that I've seen multiple times, or teams that I know that officials are being, they're being seen and they're calling it, it's really changed the game, in my standpoint. And I think it's for the better. Plus, I haven't seen a lot of guys getting hit in the head nearly as much. And then when a player does get hit in the head or something like that, it's super easy to talk to him about it.
Yeah. I don't, this is just my opinion with the games I've seen. I think we're seeing less head contact than we used to see. I don't know if you share that same opinion or not. I'd be curious for all the guys that are out there. I just think the players are starting to become a little more respectful of one another. And that could have to do with, we don't have the blow-up hits and a lot of the stuff that we had in hockey before. It has changed.
Yep, and I think we got to give it a full four-year cycle here, because we'll call this the restart this season of this, because you had the Wild West there in the middle, so we can't say this has been going on for 3 years. The officials have known about it, but it hasn't changed in those 3 seasons. But we haven't been enforcing it that way for the whole time, because let's face it, they had coaches dropping pucks in a lot of these practices, so they weren't enforcing anything. My standpoint.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, that's true. At that point, it's just a scrimmage. So,
right.
I don't know how I can't answer because we weren't there to witness it. I don't know how the players responded. I don't know if the players play at a scaled down tempo because they know they have no referees out there. It's not the same to them. It's just practice with different guys on the scrimmage line. And I think typically when growing up, if you had a scrimmage game with your own players, you're not trying to destroy anybody. You got to play with these guys. They're your friends and they're your teammates. So, you don't have a blow-up hit in a scrimmage game, amongst yourselves. It just doesn't happen.
Agreed. There's another great comment up there about 601 and 4 and 12. We didn't get to this. So thanks for knocking us back, Mr. Hirsch.
Like changes to 601, don't like the new 412 penalties rule. My son used to get a double minor before warm-ups were over. Well, that definitely would be a problem for your son at that point. But yeah. I don't know. I do kind of like this rule. That one I didn't talk about, but I only picked on the ones that I wasn't crazy about because I think, that affects like how we work our game. This doesn't affect how we work our games or call our games, but it actually does. But
so, Scott, here's the one thing I like about the 4 and the 12. Now, the 12 we can debate a little bit differently, but the 4, here's what I like about the 4. is, okay, a player takes a 2 and 10 for head contact, right? His second 2 and 10 for God only knows whatever. Check from behind. He's got his second misconduct changes to a game misconduct, right?
Right. Well, he's got 4 penalties at that point, and now he also has the second penalty, which is 2 misconducts in a game.
Hang on. I'm talking about before.
Okay.
Before. When it was 5 penalties. Right? He's got the game misconduct, right? After those 2 and 10s. 2. Okay? So here's my thought process, and I always said this when it was 5 penalties and they changed the second game misconduct a second misconduct into a game misconduct. A player is out there, they get a 2 and 10 at the beginning of the game. Right? They're going to hit somebody in the head again. Why not make sure and take a 5 in a game? Because I'm already getting that game. So I'm going to make it 10 times more severe. Now I got a game, but I still only get 1 game. Because I have the 5th penalty. So now what they've ultimately done is they have removed the idea, and I'm telling you, if I'm thinking about it, there's players thinking about it, to where you could take a 2 and a 10 and a 5 in a game, and you would only get 1 game. Now, you're getting that second game. You're not getting around it anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a good move. I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
And then on top of it, when you have that, your coach, whoever it is, has now just gotten halfway there almost
just
on one player.
One player, yeah.
So it puts a little more responsibility in their corner to where they need to start curbing the attitudes of their players. And possibly you have a guy that takes a 2 and a 10. Maybe you want to sit him down for a little while and let him think about it and then put him back out on the ice. Now, incidentally, we talked about this, I think, 2 episodes ago or 3. The officials have to start looking at how they penalize multiple players in one stoppage.
Well, we talked about that last week, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember.
It was last week. I was going to bring that up, so you brought up the point that I was going to come back with, and that is, here comes, game management, folks. And
it's a give and take relationship. If you have players that you can't get them to stop, you're going to have to put them in the box. But ultimately, most of the time, you don't need to be throwing 10 guys in the box at a stoppage.
Let's back up a little bit here. You work a lot of high-level games, and I want to make a distinction here.
All right.
I think when you are working at a lower-level game, you are working a squirt game, you are working a peewee game, you are working a peewee house or a peewee silver or something of that nature, a penalty is a penalty. At that level, a penalty is a penalty. A hook is a hook. A trip is a trip. Yes. Versus, you got a Bantam Central States game. You got a midget U16 game going on. Do you need that little hook in the neutral zone that didn't affect play? There's no turnover? Maybe not. Game management. But if that's a lower level game, those penalties should be called. The standard, there's a difference, I think, because that's how you teach the players.
Yeah, the idea
What's your thoughts on it? I mean, what do you guys think? Give me a comment in the comments. Am I crazy when I say that? I mean, I just feel like, you get the squirt game and you get the trip. Everybody, it's a trip. It's a trip. Well, the kid's just going to play the puck. Is it a trip or is it he's stick on puck and the kid falls down?
Well, if he's got puck on stick, you're not
puck
going
on
to call a penalty there.
Exactly. But
if he trips him, but
go to
Scott,
one of those games and don't think like 12 parents don't raise their hand in that situation, thinking they're getting a tripping call at that point. So,
Scott, I've seen guys get hit legally, no problem with the hit, and they're down on the ground because how they fell, they've broken their ankle. Yeah. There's 10 parents telling you that there's a penalty there just because the player's on the ice.
Of course.
You're going to get them all the time. But the point that you're making is USA Hockey pushes out there that we should be teaching at the lower levels, and then it switches over to a game management role. Now, the thought process on that is if you teach in the lower levels, you should be able to switch over into a management role and manage the game because you've already taught the players what a hook is, what a trip is, yeah, you're going to have things happen at a much faster, higher level that you're going to have to think about it more, intent, stuff like that. But that's the idea. Like, you're supposed to be able to move forward and keep continuing and re-educating the players. Once you move into the management role, now you're preparing them for junior hockey or college hockey because the game changes as you move up and progress as a player. And you have to, listen to your coach, and your coach has to change how their mindset is. And I couldn't imagine a squirt coach trying to coach U18 team, which they could be the best, squirt coach in the world.
I can hear it now.
But,
interference.
Yeah, you'd get stuck on the interference train. So, but no, I'm just pointing that out. I get where you're coming from, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And the judge over there put another one in there about USA Hockey.
Let's see. Let's look at a couple comments here. I'm just going to run through some because we haven't. So let's start with this one here. Facebook. Yep. Carl, this is the same idea of setting a standard. Call it, stick to it. The good teams will adjust. The bad teams will be slower to do so, but it can be applied. Yeah, I would agree with that. So I don't know who put that comment up, but it's a very good comment. And Carl, let's see what he said. I understand, but when the player releases the puck half a second before the hit, the player coming at him is moving way too fast to avoid.
Well, but hang on. This is the question of, is the hit already in play?
Yeah.
If you can't assimilate or understand if that hit was in play, that level of hockey might be something you need to aspire to get up to.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference between how they've written the rules. Is yes,
that a
the
good
penalties
hit or a bad
are penalties are penalties.
If it's already underway and the guy releases the puck,
Yep.
It's still hockey.
It's still and they always go back to
it's
this.
When he never had the puck and he gets blown up. That's the one. That's the blow up hit.
And are they trying to punish that player with that hit, or was that hit already in play? And yes, we understand they released it. But even if you look at the videos that USA put out, they have released that puck and it is gone. I mean, it's like 20, 30 feet away. That's not a half a second before and the player can't avoid the hit.
Exactly.
I think they did their best with that, and I think their videos were very good for what they were looking for with the stuff that they put out. But that's my opinion.
Let's see. Calling this standard drastically reduces head contact, high sticking, elbowing, etc. Penalties above the shoulders.
Hang on. I did put the link in there today, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I think you did.
At the top.
So whoever's making these comments, we appreciate the comments. But do us a favor. You see this? If you go to the top of the comments section, there is a link there for you to click if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you're all good. And I encourage you to join us on YouTube. We love Facebook, but come on over to YouTube. Come on over. See this in high quality, and you can catch the replays too, just so you know. So Ref Room, it's youtube.com/c/Ref Room. And you can find us, hit the notification bell. Let's see if I got this here. Hang on. YouTube. There it is. Don't forget to subscribe. And let's see here. Do I have a couple more of these in here? I have them somewhere and I can't find them. So now I'm lost. Oh, well. But anyway, go over there and hit the subscribe button, okay? And then hit the notification button
notification's a big one.
You'll know when we are live, okay? All right. So I think we left off, let's see, right here.
The high stick and there you go.
Yeah, I got to go back down.
The people saying hi to each other, but happy Festivus, whoever said that.
Yeah, happy Festivus
I love
to the rest of us.
I love the King of Queens mention
Festivus
in there. That's great.
to the rest of us. Yep. All right.
Very funny.
Let's see. Do we get this? Just seems like USA Hockey pushing too hard to give out GMs for too many games reasons, which not all have to do with dangerous plays. USA Hockey wants you to play within the rules. And you're a judge. You're an attorney. You know who writes these things. You know who writes them. That's the society we live in. You can't change that. Right? It's just the way it is. So Carl says, okay, because that's how I've been calling it. That's what I mean by calling it literally by the words in the rule book. I'll let you respond to that, Brad. He says,
I think he's talking about
if the hit's in play, I never call it. Okay.
Well, then you shouldn't be having problems.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
I don't know. What area do you work out of, Carl? What area? What area do you watch from, and what areas do you work out of? Are you here in the Chicagoland area? Are you working north, south, west? You tell us. Not sure what rinks you work at on a regular basis, because I don't see at any of the games. I haven't seen your name, in my area.
I can tell you the games that I've worked have.
Okay, he works
dramatically.
He works west. He says he works west Dundee. Okay, all right. I don't get out there very often. I do go out there from time to time, but it's just not on my normal schedule. Yeah, I think we used to all travel a lot more for the games, but because there is so much hockey, I think we've all become a little bit more regionalized as well. And
right.
Part of that has to do with the cost of transportation to get there now with gas prices having doubled. You just don't want to jump in the car and drive 50 miles for a single game because your whole game fee has gone on gas at that point. So
I got good news, Scott. I saw gas today by me, $2.98. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa.
Were you across a border, or were you actually still in Illinois?
Well, according to a lot of people that we referee with and my friends and family, we almost live across the border, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Because how far south we are.
I'm in the city, and it's still like $5.20 a gallon for the premium gasoline, so that hasn't changed.
You got to make up for that money that they're going to lose on the restaurants too. So now it should really go up there.
Stop. So yeah,
anyways,
I think everybody's going to be going. Well, see, there's no doubt everybody would have gone out of Chicago to eat had Cook County not put this into effect on January 3rd. I think they probably helped save some of the businesses here by getting the county to come in on this, but a lot of people will be eating in Lake County shortly.
Well, there'll be, a lot of the places did so much delivery and they did so much takeout.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have become accustomed to that anyways now.
Yeah.
I like to go to a restaurant and sit down.
I love to eat out.
That's
my biggest vice is I like to eat out. I mean, that's my pleasure in life.
I like
always
it.
Have. We like it. So I enjoy eating in restaurants.
So what else, Scott? What about the year? Everything's been
Let's
weird.
Let's just say 312 in Oak Park.
In Oak Park. That's how much it is in Oak Park.
Oh, $3.12 a gallon. Okay.
That's got to be that's got to be Mason. He was on the show very, very early.
Yeah. That must be one station on North Avenue in Oak Park that has cheap gas. I won't mention it, but there's one that usually is a little cheaper. You want cheaper gas, go further west, okay? Go further west on North Avenue. That's all I can say. Get out near 53, or 355, I should say, and on North Avenue, and you'll find cheaper gas. Let's see. Karen says she's seen $2.98 in a few places. Well, you didn't see it in Chicago. I can promise you, Karen. Maybe for a half a gallon they have that as a special. Buy both half gallons and get it for like $5.20.
That's the down payment for you to even have the pleasure of pumping gas from that.
Yeah,
pump.
Exactly. That's the entry fee to get to the pump. The cover charge.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah. Chicago will have a cover charge to get to the pump pretty soon.
Yeah. Hey, sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, exactly.
You think we can pitch that to somebody? You think anybody listen?
Yeah, don't give them any ideas, okay? In case we have any politicians watching, don't give them any ideas.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, what are you looking forward to? What are you doing? Hey, Scott, give yourself a plug on what you're doing on New Year's Eve.
Well, I'll be on the radio doing mixes starting at 10:50 p.m. If you want, you can get me from anywhere. You can tune into V103, which is 102.7 FM, and you can almost ring in the new year with me. I'll be on right up to the new year, so 10:50, 102.7 FM. Playing some house music, some deep disco, and some classics, so it'll be fun. So that's my New Year's Eve, and happy to be doing that. It's always a good time, and I've been doing that for a long time, so very cool. And, beyond that, you got New Year's Eve plans there, Mr. Baumruck?
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to stick around here. I know I'm going to be with my family. That's all I know.
Well, that's good.
So at least the four of us will do something, even if it's just us, but hopefully we have a good time. If anybody's planning anything big, that they'll have a cover charge and they're looking to make some money, throw it in the comments.
Right.
We'll give you a freebie.
We'll give you a free plug tonight. Exactly.
So, but no, it's going to be just probably pretty quiet wherever we end up. So I've kind of gotten over the big, huge parties, for New Year's. It's great. It's a fun time, but it's like, okay, it's 12 o'clock and then it's like, all right, now everybody go home.
Yeah. I mean, I like to go to a restaurant, but I don't mind going at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening and being out of there by 8 o'clock. Trust me, get home before all the craziness. But I work a lot of New Year's Eves because, I'm in the entertainment business. So I work a lot of New Year's Eves. And I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen cars parked on the side of the highway and people dancing on the roof of the car because the car broke down. So I've seen some crazy stuff in my time period.
I know I refereed a New Year's Eve game in Madison one year. And it was like, the game was at like, I don't know, I want to say like 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. They had it because it was a Saturday. I'll never forget the place was packed. Like they couldn't fit anybody else in this building. And it's a 3 official system, and we have an icing. And I'm coming down the ice, and both teams have already kind of changed, so you're just kind of floating through center ice. So you're just going to put your arm up real quick and put it down. Boy, I took that pivot turn, and I put my foot down, and I hit this giant rut during the stoppage, and I fell down in front of everyone.
Did you get a round of applause?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yep. Yeah. Yep. I was like, whatever. So I skate over to my goal line, and one of the captains from the team, that, nice guy that I got to know over the couple years that I worked in the league, came over and brushed the snow off me. So I thought that was pretty nice. So I got to give him credit.
Did you give him a 601 abusive official?
No, I just laughed about it. I thought it was funny.
That is funny. I like that. That's cool.
Well, then he's good. Like, hey, he goes, in your defense, he goes, in all the games that you've refereed of mine, he goes, I've never seen you fall. He goes, but maybe you should have fallen down during play. I'm like, yeah, that probably would have been better. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So give you an embarrassing
I think one
moment.
of the craziest times I ever went down, I think was it was a men's league game. There was nobody in the building, obviously, but I went over by the scorer's box. I was doing a penalty, and I kind of did a little control stop there. And right as I came to the stop, the skate went like right into a perfect groove. And boom! Just went over like boom. It was kind of funny, but that's not the easiest way to fall down either, because it's a complete
the boards
drop.
Are right there.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear you. I've fallen out of a rink before, like where there's like the two or three steps.
Yeah.
And you catch your foot on there, and there's that water, and your skates are kind of dull, and it hydroplaned off. Boy, did I go down those stairs hard. Yeah, that was a long time ago, but I'm glad. I was glad to be wearing a helmet
hazard.
that day.
You don't realize it, but a lot of those rubber mats in the rinks can be really slippery. I slipped on one in a penalty box between periods, just walking in there to check the score sheet about a year ago. And, man, I was lucky I didn't really get hurt, but I went down like a rock. I hit that thing, and it was like, shoop. So, good stuff. All right. Let's see what else comment. We got. A couple more here. Somebody that's a Facebook user says, "Hey, Brad,"
that's
because they didn't click the link. Karen says, "You're supposed to stand up and take a bow." Yeah, there you go.
Hang on, I got a good story. Hang on. So I was working in a rink, and it was a rivalry game, and for some reason somebody threw a squid out on the ice. Then this poor college girl had to come out there with a bucket and pick it up. And I skated over to her, and I said, you know what you should do? The place was packed. I go, pick that thing up and swing it around over your head. And I go, just do it. I go, the crowd would go crazy. She could barely, pick it up. She had it, I mean, I felt so bad for her, but I'm like, at least she got a laugh out of it. But no better than me falling down.
Well, I was in fifth year the other day. I was a little upset, actually, because wasn't the game that I was working, but the Zamboni driver brought the thing over. They had a mallard duck from
I heard
when they had the teams over there. That was a real duck, okay? That was heartbreaking to see because that duck was gorgeous.
Dude, it got posted to our page. Didn't you see that?
No, I didn't.
The referees took a picture of it because they watch and put it on the page, man. So thank you.
Crazy.
I appreciate it. I don't like seeing the duck dead, but...
Let's see, one more here. Always like to watch the show over lunch break. Great job. Thanks. Cheers to you for a happy new year in 2022 and finishing season healthy and with a full game schedule and no falls.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate it. By the way, we're almost at the end of the hour, but we are actually going to be changing the time of the show for the new year, and we need to announce that. So do I put up like breaking news for that, Brad, or what? Because that would be breaking news.
We decided it finally yesterday. We've been kicking it around.
So we have
about 4 weeks.
It's going to show something else up there because it had some other comments. So let me just take that off.
That's okay. It's got the top.
But anyway, so we're going to be moving the show. And what time are we going to do? We're going to do Mondays now. Mondays in the evening. Monday evening. And what are we going to do? We agreed on like 5:30. Is that what we're going to change over to? So we're going to try that at 5:30. Now, I'm going to already tell you right now, it's we're going to have some issues with Monday nights because all the holidays fall on Mondays. So hockey schedules are going to be a little crazy for like the holiday dates of doing this. We'll have to figure something out. And I know I'm already got like, I want to say it's 17th or something. I've already got one date that I'm probably not going to be able to do the show on that Monday, but we're going to shoot for Mondays 5:30. We'll adjust if we have to. For those of you that are still out there, can you watch if we do Monday nights at like 5:30? Is that a good time for you? And I'm talking Central Time, of course, for those of you that are watching from other coasts, but hopefully that will work for you. We will post that on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else so you guys know.
Yep.
Just so everybody's in the loop. But that'll start next week. So we will start next Monday, 5:30 p.m.
Correct.
Yep. And I hope that's a good time for everybody. But, if you can't, you can always watch the replays on YouTube. So that's why it's so important to please go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, go to Ref Room, subscribe, hit the notification button. That way, if anything changes, you'll be alerted. And if you're on Facebook, hit the notification button because it will still alert you as to the new time that we're going to come up. So you will see exactly what time we're going to go live. So, again, really important to hit those notification buttons on there. That'll take care of it for you. Doesn't get any easier. Because Brad and I have actually talked about sneaking on here once or twice, like even late nights. We do these crazy calls together, and I thought, well, maybe we should do one of these where we just do it live, and we'll just have our pregame late night in the middle of no time. And if you guys want to join us, you can. And, that's a possibility. We might even want to do something like that one night and do a Zoom call for all you guys that watch regularly so you can actually participate in the show and come on and be a little bit more a part of the show. That's something we can look into for 2022. That's on our list.
Yep.
So let's see what else. Karen says, this time slot was nice as it's a midweek break. Yeah, I agree. Brad didn't have to go get a new job. We'd still be here on Wednesday at this time because I like this time too. I think this is a good time. But Brad had a great opportunity, and he's going to take that, of course. And Sal says, I jumped on the boards in Addison trying to avoid a check and went over the boards into the players' bench. The players were right behind me, and they scattered like cockroaches, and I landed on my head. Yeah, the one time they're going to get out of your way. Any other time, they're going to be right there for you, Sam. But, in that situation, they'll get out of your way real fast. Yeah, I mean, that's not cool. Most teams, they would hold the referee up in that situation.
Hopefully.
I don't think they'd let him go down on that dirty ground where they've been spitting all day, and 20 teams before them have been spitting on that floor, and that's where you land. Yeah, it's not cool.
And in some rinks, it hasn't been mopped in years.
Could you do a live show mic'd up during a game? Well, we actually could do that. It would be doable. The only thing is we have to have really good internet. So if the building had internet, we could actually do something like that. There are ways for us to stream, but wirelessly is not really great. you really want an Ethernet connection so that you're wired in. It's a better way to go. Wireless streaming is not the best. But if you can get a good up and down rate, actually, I'm going tomorrow to look at another product that will allow us to stream from another location. But we'll see.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah. Brad doesn't even know about that one yet.
Well, now I do. See, Merry Christmas to me and a Happy New Year.
Right. There you go.
All
right. Well, we're kind of at the end of the hour. So, I want to thank everyone that's tuned in this year to be a part of the show and come on as a guest or just comments and been here. We really appreciate it. You guys, it wouldn't be any fun if you guys didn't join us and have the great comments and the conversations that we have. That's what makes it so special. So thank you to everybody. And I want to wish you and your families Happy New Year. Sincerely from us here at the Ref Room. And I'm sure Brad would join me in that statement.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. See you next day. I like that, Marty. I'll see you next year.
Marty says, see you next year. Yeah, we're not doing this again until next year, Marty. One of our buddies, Marty Tong. All right, Marty. Another one of the long-time great referees. Knows the rules. Been around forever. Thanks for joining us. And, everybody have a Happy New Year and be safe. And get out there and take some games if you could find any. At least in next week. There'll be a lot.
There'll be plenty coming. So just be ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to go back to work. All right, I'm ready. Carl says Scott Silz mic'd up for the U18 AAA championship. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Maybe the girls' AAA championship. All right. Yeah, if I was mic'd up on the U18 AAA champ, I'd probably be like, "Oh, here they come! I gotta get out of the way!
Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me!
No! Hey, head it! Pick your head up! Pick your head up!"
They're all the way down the ice.
Chant
Scott, they're still all the way down the ice.
Yeah, I know.
Let them at least get into the zone that you're standing in.
Hey, pick your head up! Pick your head up! Look! All right. Karen says, thank you both for continuing to do this far longer than you planned. Yes, anything over 3 weeks was more than Brad had planned for. But,
I never said that I wouldn't keep doing it. I never said that. I just said we'll both be like, okay, this is stupid after 3 weeks. So, all right, I can't help it that I am a person that plans for failure right at the beginning. Okay? Like, I thought there would be internet problem. Well, we did have internet problems.
Well,
but
the first week or two, we had some audio issues. They just had not mastered the idea of echo cancellation for the broadcast. And, I was fine from my end, but the guests weren't fine at that point. But, the software has evolved, and, we got more updates coming. So, stay tuned for 2022. I'm sure we're going to see some more cool features. So, but yeah, this has been a great system. We really enjoy doing it, and it gives me a lot of fun doing it. I mean, I look forward to it every week. I'm usually sitting here by 11 o'clock in the morning for a 12 o'clock show, waiting for everybody to call in. But I enjoy it.
Because I called you at 10 today.
Yeah. I got up early today. Normally, the last few weeks I've been getting up late, I barely got up for the show because I was so tired from working all those games. But I didn't work a couple days, so now I'm up at 6:30 in the morning again. Go figure. That's why I need some games. If the schedulers are listening, I need some games. Okay.
Oh boy, you better watch out.
Wait, I'm getting a text. Got a Might Split Ice game available for you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
You got to drive 2 hours to get there, okay?
Yeah.
Leave now.
It's in Racine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good luck with that.
No, Kenosha. Let's go a little further. Oh, no, Racine is further
Racine's
than Kenosha.
further, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. That's a wrap for 2021, everybody. So thank you all for joining us. We will look forward to seeing you again next week. Again, remember, new time starting next week. Mondays, new time, new date. Same place. Ref Room right here on YouTube and Facebook, and it's 5:30 p.m. on Mondays. If you'd like to support the channel, which I know many of you have, and we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
You can buy us a coffee. All you have to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/refroom, and it's much appreciated because it helps defer some of our costs. We'd like to add music. We have some music at the start of the show, but we want to get some licensed music for this to run during the show a little bit more. So That's what we will probably use if you guys decide you want to contribute, because it's not cheap for us to buy a license for a year for that. But that would be nice. So if you buy coffee, it will go towards music for the show. Okay, maybe a new intro. I'll be able to cut up a new intro for us.
There you go.
Fair enough. All right, that was a good plug for that. All right, anything you want to close up on? No. Last chance to say something for 2021, Brad. Like, I can't believe we've been here longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah, I can't believe it. In fact, we topped that one last year at New Year's.
Yeah.
So just pointing that out. No, another good year. Thanks to everybody. Especially to the officials that have stepped it up. Thanks for spending time with us, because people text me afterwards. Thanks for the good words. Always appreciate it. I like when we walk into a rink, and now people have started spinning some ideas. So please spin whatever.
We love ideas.
We don't care.
Yeah. I got to thank you, Brad. I mean, we become really good friends. Brad and I knew each other from, seeing each other occasionally in a locker room or a ref room at one of these buildings, and, just chit-chatted, and, it was always fun. And, here we are. I mean, we talk all the time, and we've become very good friends. So I appreciate you for that, and I appreciate all that you do for the show and your contributions. So, again, to you and your family, Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2022. And again, Monday nights, 5:30 p.m. right here. All right, on behalf of the Ref Room, I'm Scott Smokin Silz from Chicago. Brad Baumruck from way the heck out there in Plainfield.
There you go. I like that.
Happy New Year, everybody.